Hey, if you were watching this, it's no accident. It's politicking, and it's next. All right. Oh, boy, I tell you, the audience is on fire. Literally. Hey, welcome to a show where politics is a joke. It's politicking, and I'm your host, Tony King. We thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a busy week, so let's jump right into it the way we do every show with our seriously unserious news report. Oh, they got it. They got it. Oh, yeah. Advertisers are ditching the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, due to what is described as rocky leadership under owner and CEO Elon Musk. Since taking over Twitter in the blockbuster deal, advertisers have not been pleased in changes made to the platform, starting with the name, changing it from Twitter to X. According to Time magazine, quote, citing a surge in harmful language, including from Elon Musk himself, companies have decided to pull the plug on their ad dollars on the platform. Companies that have removed their ads include General Motors, Balenciaga, Eli Lilly, Audi, Volkswagen, and United Airlines. Meanwhile, Spirit Airlines said they ain't pulling nothing. In Congress, Republican George Santos said he expects to be expelled from Congress after a damaging report by the House Ethics Committee that found, quote, substantial evidence of law-breaking and lying. If this is true, sounds to me like Congress might not be the place for him. Seems more like a White House guy to me. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, when speaking with HBO Sports recently about his 2014 arrest for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, said it was, quote, prejudice against him for being a rich white billionaire. Well, I must be a rich white billionaire because I get harassed by the police all the time. I can't believe that he said it was prejudice. I guess it had nothing to do with that he was asleep behind the wheel of a car with more than 200 oxycodone pills and $29,000 in cash and a gun. First off, dude, who do you think you are, a ghost from Power? Keeping in football news, country singer and icon Dolly Parton made news with her Cowboys cheerleader outfit that she wore while performing during halftime of the Cowboys Commanders game on Thanksgiving. First off, Dolly can get it. And second off, Dolly can get it. And in local news, East Baton Rouge Metro Council member Cleve Dunn has sought to have a judge removed from a case where he was sued and ordered to pay $57,000 to his neighbors for construction on a deck that he built in his backyard that caused damages to his neighbor's yard. His reasoning for the removal, which was rejected, was due to racial bias, according to the filing submitted by Dunn's lawyers. Now, Councilman Cleve Dunn represents District 6, which covers parts of Broadmoor and Villa Del Rey, to the Mid-City to Melrose East area, formerly Mall City. However, the home that he lives in, which is the property listed in the suit, is located on Jane Seymour Drive, which is listed to receive where he gets his mail, which is located actually in District 8, not 6. So here's the thing, and I really want to help Councilman Cleve Dunn. You know which property isn't involved in the $57,000 suit? The one in the district that you represent. But hey, I can't be mad at him. I mean, who doesn't want a pool with a deck in their backyard? I mean, after a long day of charging $25,000 a pop. Sometimes you just want to kick back and enjoy a cold one, you know what I mean? Continuing in local news, last weekend was the 50th annual Bayou Classic. Between Southern and Grambling, things kicked off in true fashion, and I mean fashion, as Grambling's coach Hugh Jackson showed up in this suit. G.S. Hugh. Clearly, Hugh has been spending his checks on Temu. But moving to the game, fans came from all around to view the halftime show that had quite a star-studded lineup. During their performance, Southern brought out American Idol winner Fantasia to sing. Yeah. And for their performance, Grambling brought out this big-ass bass drum on wheels. And they rolled it around like a Civil War cannon. But all the action on the field is what it's all about, and Southern had to fend off a late surge from Grambling and took home the victory. Way to go, SU. And in crazy news, a woman in India sent the Guinness Book of World Records by having the most teeth. What? When they interviewed her husband about the honor, he replied, yes, about 43 of them. And finally, an Iowa man was arrested for touching himself in the parking lot of a come-and-go convenience store. Kenneth Lee Kelly of Iowa City was booked and charged with indecent exposure. When asked why he did it in the parking lot of the come-and-go convenience store, he replied, just look at the name. And that's gonna do it for our Seriously Unserious News Report. Stay tuned, because we will be letting you know how to cope during the holiday season with mental health professionals, and it's politicking. Stay tuned.
Let's go, Tony!
This guy.
Advertising and operating a business go hand in hand. Mad Game Entertainment has a long, detailed history of working within clients' budgets and delivering big results. Mad Game helped launch the popular Go Vote app. We've been involved with several successful political campaigns. We assist the everyday marketing needs for small businesses and many other organizations. We custom fit marketing plans for the largest budget and the most modest. We look forward to enhancing your presence in your industry.
From classic cop shows to comedies, entertainment shows to retro movies, nature, sci-fi, and talk shows, plus original programming from local curators, WBTR 36 is your one-stop shop to watch the television you love. In connection with this TV, WBTR is your home for the content you crave. So sit back, relax, and tune into television that the entire family can enjoy. WBTR 36, Baton Rouge, television for the family.
Phoenix Air Spa provides its customers with a soothing environment, incomparable professional services, and extraordinary results. Relax, recharge, and re-emerge anew at Phoenix Air Spa, always aesthetically you.
Wow, what's happening? This your girl Cheeky Black, the mother of twerk, the bounce icon. You already know what it is. Night walk downtown New Orleans in the building. If you ain't with Mad Gang, you ain't with nobody else, cause Cheeky Black in this my son Lil Pimp in this and we holler, get over me just like that. You heard me?
Best floor manager in the game. Welcome back to a show that spent way too much money on Black Friday. And even more money on Cyber Monday. It's PoliTicKIng. I am Tony King, and we are here with licensed professional counselor and author of Little Girl Arise, for the woman who's ready to push past her pain and fulfill purpose. Give it up for Tarkisha Wallace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes. So, Little Girl Arise.
Yes.
What about the little boys? No, I'm just playing.
Well, technically, it's a play on a scripture, so it can transfer to
Yes.
boys too if they can just flip the word when reading.
Well, you know, now you can say little person arise.
I mean, we're in that culture.
We're in that
time.
place now. Yeah. So I'm glad you're joining us. We're officially in the holiday season.
Yes.
And as we know, sometimes during the holiday season, some people can get the holiday blues. What are some ways that we can kind of find our way out of it?
So one thing I think people have to do is be willing to acknowledge where they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are embarrassed or we're unsure or we really don't know how to reach out and say something is wrong. We kind of want to suppress things. So first things is to acknowledge where they are, that I'm feeling a little different, I'm not so happy, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Then after that, they may not necessarily seek therapy, but start doing some things like, one of my favorite things is grounding. So doing some outside things. Because of the weather, of course, we stay inside much, right?
Yeah.
But it's gloomy inside, it's dark. A lot of times people are not opening their windows.
Turn the lights
they want to turn the lights off.
Yeah.
But go outside, get some fresh air and get some natural sunlight. It is necessary because, one, our mood is affected by vitamin D, right?
Yeah.
And so we're lacking it anyway because the season change.
Yeah, less
so
sunlight.
We have less sunlight,
Yeah.
right. So go outside. Also, this one doesn't personally work for me. However, people find it very useful. Meditation. My brain goes too much to meditate, but finding a safe space to be quiet and sit with your thoughts so that, one, you can acknowledge what you feel and then kind of breathe through it. So when I do meditate, I use guided imagery. So if you search on like YouTube or they have like the Calm app, you can find a guided imagery that'll walk you through.
I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy. When I meditate, I always go to sleep.
A lot of people do. I have a client, I do virtual therapy.
Yeah.
And my client went to sleep. I had a child client, and while we were doing meditation, she fell asleep, and I did everything to wake her up. Now, I think she was tired. It was after school, and so it probably was not the best idea on my part to do guided imagery with her then, but a lot of people do fall asleep. So some people will set a timer, something that's soft that'll bring them out of the meditation so that if they need to be productive afterwards, they won't, sleep their afternoon away.
Now, it ain't just meditation. If I pray too long, I fall asleep. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
have you heard about the
Forgive me,
person?
Lord.
They say, do you have ADHD prayer, like where you
kind of
drift
zone,
in and
you
out?
drift,
Yeah. Let me tell you, I used to fall asleep praying every night, so now I have to pray on my knees, so I don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I got to pray standing up. Just saying. But no, it's so what are some of the reasons that you find outside of just, normal? Because, it's less sunlight, it's more chances to be gloomy. What are some of the reasons that you find that people are often sad during the holidays?
Two of the biggest ones during the holiday season is grief and loss. So we are remembering those who are no longer here. We are thinking about not even like our deceased loved ones, but maybe families that have separated during that time. People don't like to be alone, so that's a big one. And then also the pressure to provide during that time. So many people want to be able to buy their children and their family members all these extravagant gifts that they get lost in the hustle and bustle of actually what they can provide and what they can't, and so they feel the pressure of it, because many of us don't just say, well, I can't do it this year. We try to figure it out. So they take on expenses that they are not prepared to pay for after the holiday.
Or they go see Nate.
Who's Nate? I don't know Nate.
I'll tell you after.
Okay, tell me about Nate.
They go
later.
see Mr. Nate.
Okay. Well, but maybe they shouldn't go see Nate.
I don't think they should go see Nate.
The thing is, they have the pressure after the holidays, so then it's extended, because now they're figuring out how to pay.
How am I going to pay for it? I ran my credit card bills up, things like that. So, so in dealing with the grief, what are some of the ways that we can cope and push through?
So talk to somebody. Even if it's not a therapist, Get your friend. I tell people, text your friend, be like, hey, can I dump? Ask their permission first. Like, I have a lot, can I unload? So talk to somebody. 2, stop putting that pressure on yourself. You do not have to buy the most extravagant gifts. Especially now, a lot of times we just want company. We want quality time. So if you cannot give these big gifts, do something with the person. Invite them over. Spend some time with them. Journal. So write out your feelings. Okay. Don't bottle them up. Don't suppress them. Don't hold them in. You want to get them out. So if you are not comfortable with talking to someone, or if you don't have the support to talk to someone, journal about it. Write it. Get your feelings out. Build community. And so if you don't have a support system, start building one now, because as we get further into the holiday season, that pressure of seeing families together and seeing people out and about doing things.
And then they want to dress up in matching pajamas.
Everybody wants to match in pajamas. I mean, do it with somebody in your family. Do it with your girlfriend who's single too. Don't feel the pressure of what social media is bringing into you. And so I say build community. Get out and volunteer. We'll find that there are a lot of other people that are not in matching pajamas if we get out and volunteer in the community agencies. And so then we'll fit right in with them.
And then next year, stop curving people in June so you can be in matching pajamas.
That part, maybe. Yeah.
And if all else fails, they can always reach out to a licensed professional counselor.
To a licensed professional counselor. You can look on Psychology Today. You can search in your area. You can look on Therapy for Black Girls, Therapy for Black Men. Social media, if you do a therapist search, you can find people in your area.
Or you can just get on Facebook and say, hey, I'm looking for a mental health counselor.
You can, and people will tag mental health providers, and then you can pick from there. Yeah, so those are easy ways.
And we want to come see you. How can we come see you?
So you can visit my website, soarcounselingbr.com. I am on Instagram, but it's by my podcast name. It's Think Yourself Crazy. And so you can reach out to me that way. I have a few slots open. Beginning of the year, I'll open up more. I don't take a lot of new clients at the end of the year.
It's okay. You can say you booked and busy.
Not quite, but get in there. Get in there.
Booked it and pretty busy.
Yeah, at the end of the year, it's harder to bring, because people come in crisis at the end of the year, and you don't want to disservice them by not being able to. Most therapists you will find take off at the end of the year. They need a reboot.
You as well?
Yes, me too.
I heard
me
that.
Too.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And remember to check out the podcast, Think Yourself Crazy, and also go check out that book, Little Girl Arise, for the woman who's ready to push past her pain and fulfill her purpose. Stay tuned. We have more on the way right here. It's PoliTicKING.
With the rise of racism and peace being taken from the world, it leaves a person to wonder, what's going on in the world? Sadly, these things are not going away. Read The Dog Whistleblower to find the link between racism and the coming Armageddon.
Phoenix Air Spa provides its customers with a soothing environment, incomparable professional services, and extraordinary results. Relax, recharge, and re-emerge anew at Phoenix Air Spa, always aesthetically you.
Pro Wrestling 225 family, join us on WBTR at 10 o'clock this Tuesday night for Unleashed. It's going to be an incredible episode, including the ring wrecker Bordell Walker going one-on-one with the cold-blooded Wes Warren.
Talk about a heavy hitter, but that's not all. There's also going to be an in-ring signing, an important announcement to happen. Michael White will be in the same ring as Wild Thing. Do not miss it. That's 10 o'clock on Tuesday for Pro Wrestling 225 Unleashed on WBTR.
What's up? This is your girl Megan Good, and I want to give a shout out to Mad Game ENT.
Well, I say, brother, for real. Welcome back to a show that wonders whether the Saints will ever win another game. It's PoliTicKIng, and I'm your host, Tony King. I want to get serious for a second. Whitney Houston once said, "I believe the children are our future." Well, if they are, then we need to prepare them to do better. The statewide grades for the school systems were released recently, where the statewide average was a B, or 71%. School districts like Zachary, West Feliciana, Ascension, Central, they all overperform, earning well above 90%, an A-letter grade. East Baton Rouge, though improved from last year by 3 points, still performed below the state average, earning a 66.5 C. Baker School System earned the lowest grade in the area at a 48.5. Yikes. They must didn't turn in their homework. But the teachers are working as hard as they can. They are giving their all, and they deserve more support and definitely more money. But I do have one issue. Can we stop with the videos of kids in classrooms rapping Sexy Red songs and acting like teachers are relating to them by bridging the gap? And everybody on social media is applauding this. This ain't no celebration. If I saw my kid rapping a Sexy Red song in order to learn, I would have that teacher fired. Why do we believe that kids need to be entertained to learn? I don't remember my mama telling me that her teacher made them sing Temptation songs to learn. I know you wanna leave me, but 6 + 6 = 12. She ain't never say that. Why are we lowering the bar for our kids? In a time period where some states are removing or lowering requirements and basic skills such as reading and math, we're out here holding Showtime at the Apollo during arithmetic. But look at the classrooms in China. They ain't singing Sexy Red. They are building robots and doing calculus in kindergarten. Look at this. They look like they are building Terminator. Meanwhile, your kid's teacher is doing TikToks. Here's a novel idea. Teach the kids and leave the Sexy Red for where it belongs. On your OnlyFans page that you have to get to make money because they don't pay you enough. It's PoliTicKIng. We'll be back.
I got this nerd bird. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, you ready, son? You ready? No. What the?
I mean, do my bow.
How he get her anyway?
He been bow music. Get him every time.
Oh, he said bow music.
Mad Game ENT.
Mad Game ENT. Mad Game TV.
Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment. Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment.
Mad Game Entertainment. Stay tuned, homie.
It's Friday night, and you're now clocked in on the late shift with Will Merrow.
And this Mad Game presents Friday Night Flows. Let's kick it off like this, baby.
Laugh later.
And lock it in. We'll be right back with more cocktails, conversations, and me.
JK Lee Sports. Watching this on YouTube? Make sure you click that like and subscribe button on the MGE network. Holla.
faculty treated my kids like they were their own.
Shiloh is a place where, your kids can come and be themselves.
The staff is very open to things that the parents have to say.
To enroll your child in Shiloh's Early Learning Academy, call 225-343-4734.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Channing Blake. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletics here at Louisiana Leadership Institute. Primarily, we want to concentrate on basketball right now. And so if you have a kid that wants to build their game, build their skills, become a better student, and also a better athlete, by all means, please come and see us over here at the Leadership Institute. Thank you. God bless.
It's your old alive, knee deep in the swamp down here in the city that kept forgot. Fiend, Sleeping Eyes Jones. And you're right now jamming to some of the livest music and checking out some of the livest interviews on Mad Game Entertainment. 130 is your neighborhood hero, you feel me?
All right. All that noise means one thing. Welcome back to a show that can't wait until Christmas so I can get some new draws. Hated it as a kid, love it as an adult. It's politicking, and we are here with our panel. Our first guest is a Democrat who has served in the Louisiana House of Representatives since 2018, representing District 67. Give it up for Larry Selders. And our next guest is no stranger to us all. You can't go to a cookout, a wedding, or a funeral, and yes, I said funeral, and not hear his music while dancing. Give it up for the line dance king himself, Cupid. All right. Glad to have y'all, man. And you know what? Let me say this, because I have to say this, because I made the joke about Grambling and Fantasia versus the bass drum. They did bring you out, man. It was you came out and did your thing.
I tried to help the bass drum as much as possible. But shout out to Southern, they really did that, and shout out to Grambling too.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got Grambling. You'll be all right next year. You'll ride on the bass drum. They got wheels.
I went to USL, so it's just the whole HBCU experience is just mind blowing to me.
Same here. I say same here. Same, not USL, but PWI. So, real quick, man, I'm glad you guys could join. One thing I kind of want to jump in with is recently, a few weeks ago, Cardi B made some comments, and everybody's making their thoughts in entertainment about whether we're going to go with Biden or Trump, and who give money to the black community. You had Sexy Red making comments, and Cardi B jumped out there and she was talking about some issues that were going on, and she was blaming Joe Biden for it. She was saying, things about, her trash and education and the school system and where she lived, and some people on social media basically said, hey, those aren't national issues, they are local issues, and kind of schooled her a little bit. And sometimes we hear entertainers and things like that jump out and they become spokespeople, for us in politics. And having an entertainer and a politician here, what do we think about entertainers who try to venture into politics but don't know about politics?
As an entertainer, I'd say that you have to be very well versed.
Yeah.
Politics is just, it's so deep, so many different angles, so many different things that entertainers, we see things from the surface.
Yeah.
But when you start, especially on social media, you start saying certain things, you gotta be able to have some type of backup information to justify what you're saying, or you're gonna get Cardi B, as they say. So, I just think that entertainers, if you want to be a spokesman, put the same effort into learning what you're talking about.
But that's the thing, though, is that you have some people that say, hey, you know what, just focus on what it is that you do. I remember when they had, Laura Ingraham on Fox News was saying, for LeBron, shut up and dribble. We want to let the politicians be politicians and entertainers be entertainers. Do you think there's any room for entertainment in politics?
I think it's important that you use any platform you have to advocate for the people.
Yeah.
But just like Cupid said, you have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You have to know the difference between your council person and your state representative and your Congress, and the congressman. Everybody has different roles.
Well, here's my thing. A lot of these well, not a lot, but some, rappers and things like that, they'll rap and say that the teacher said that they wasn't going to be nothing and they couldn't read and all these other things. Do I really want somebody like that speaking out for me, or do I want you to hey, go back and meet up with that lady and finish learning what she was trying to teach you?
Right. I guess it depends on how you use your platform. If that teacher said that and you go back, 10 years later and kind of say, hey, look, you inspired me. Talk about that. Talk about how she pushed you, because you don't really know what she was saying. They're painting this picture, but she might have just simply been saying, if you don't do this work, you're not going to do nothing.
Right.
But if that's not the narrative you're painting, then it can get flipped, any kind of way.
So my question is then, how can we get the entertainers and the politicians on one accord to be able to say, okay, let's know what we're talking about? How can you teach them?
Entertainers have a huge platform, and that's the same platform that most politicians want to have.
Yeah.
And so it's nothing for an entertainer to call a politician, and they're going to pick up the phone,
It almost seems like, politicians want to be entertainers and entertainers want to be politicians now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy. Like you see a lot of them now, speaking more about politics, and now you have, politicians who are trying to be entertainers. It's like this blurred line, almost like how it is with athletes and rappers. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? So that means you're running for something.
Man, so I don't want anybody to dig into my past, because back in the day I used to, I don't know if I can say it on camera.
Oh, don't. Hey, we got court cases coming back on in town.
Man, I'm gonna say it 'cause I don't think it's that bad, but I used to be into I used to have some roosters and stuff, and we used to fight roosters back in the country.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't want them to do like a little commercial, like a sad rooster.
with the sad music playing. They always spin the dog around. The dog always be. This how this. You ever notice why they got to spin the dog? They gonna spin the rooster on you.
I just don't.
With some Sarah McLachlan playing.
I just want to learn and just give people the opportunity to make a decision, because I don't want them to go into my past, man. Kudos to you, man, for real.
And it's fine.
But
sometimes you need that though. Sometimes you need somebody that's relatable.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been through the same thing that people in your community represent. And so just
I don't know. I want to explore that. I'm kind of the same way. I don't think I would want anybody to dig into my past. I don't want them to dig into my past now. I don't want them to dig into my present.
You're human.
But here's the thing. Did you face any of that when you first jumped out there?
I didn't.
Nobody.
And if it was, I wasn't scared of it. Actually.
Oh man, you a good guy. Oh man,
I wasn't scared of it.
You must go to church every Sunday.
Just I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know my why. Right. I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
My degree's in social work, and I always wanted to advocate. I'm always gonna be, authentic to who I am, and my constituents understand that.
That's awesome.
I was able to get reelected unopposed.
Wow.
Because when you're in this role,
so
as long as you're
basically
doing
nobody
your job,
wanted to lose. They knew they were gonna lose.
Let's hope so.
Go ahead, stand on business. Come on now.
when you're advocating, people know you're advocating. So I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Even before your past, I think.
So you talked about being relatable. Do we think that politicians should? Do you want to see your politician out? Let's say your politician may be having, a birthday party or something. Do we want to see our politicians having birthday parties? Let's say, at the local club. It's a birthday. Do we want to see that?
Yeah,
taking shots.
I believe so. I believe so because, you want to be somebody that's tangible, somebody that can touch, somebody that's relatable.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable with people coming and walking up to me and talking to me.
Yeah.
And it's no better feeling in the world to say, hey, I know Larry. Or not the state representative. I know Larry.
Yeah.
And that'll take you so far, just in life. Because I'm not gonna be a state representative forever.
Yeah, because then you're gonna be a U.S. congressman, then a senator, then mayor, governor.
I may not do any of it, but I still want to be able to live in my community.
Okay, you brought up a good point, because that's something too that's been going around nationally, is that a lot of politicians are not seeking re-election. They are just burnt out by the whole process and all of the backfighting and things like that. Do you see any of that, you know, here in Louisiana politics?
Yeah, you know, but you get used to it and you learn how to maneuver the room, you know, and once you work with your colleagues and you get to know them on a personal level, it really helps you when you're making decisions. And just as long as you're just transparent with your constituents, you know, that's who brought you, you know, that's who put you in that seat.
Those are your bosses.
So that's my boss. You know, I work for them.
Yeah.
And so I just do the best I can for the people I serve, and everything else I just keep going.
So there you have it. You have a relatable politician and a world record holder. I didn't even get a chance to say that. World record holder, man. You know, I was speaking about the Guinness Book of World Records, but you actually have one, don't you?
Yes, 17,000, the largest line dance ever assembled Cascade Park, courtesy of my friend Steve Harvey. We put that together in 2007, and Tokyo tried to break it, but they couldn't. But so we've been real strong and you know, real consistent with the line dance movement.
You know, and that's something. How do you figure that out, man? How do you do the, like? Do you do the music first, then the dance? Do you do the dance first, then the music? Like,
it's honestly, I've been approached by several labels about like how to do it, and there's a huge difference between a line dance song and a song with a line dance. A la Tamia, a la the Wobble versus a Cupid shuffle or a biker shuffle. So it's science. It's basically the way your body moves. Like if you step to the left, your body is naturally gonna step to the right. And a lot of times we have people who just put stuff together and like jump, slide, kick, and it doesn't work because it doesn't, you know, work with your body with natural movement. I've just figured out a way to make music with it and then sing at the same time.
Because you are a real singer. You showed that actually on The Voice.
Yeah, man. I sing. It's just my music gets caught up in a direction, but singing is definitely. I came up doing writing for male waiters and singing Southern Soul and Blues when I was 16, 17, 18 years old.
So there we have it. Hey, we might have to try and break that record here. Can we try?
Yeah.
Can we try?
I'm down.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that more right here. PoliTicKING, stay tuned. Tony King, don't miss it.
We have got to find new ways to increase our revenue.
Sir, we can increase our revenue sales by enhancing our social media presence.
Yeah, so does anybody else have an idea?
We can clearly increase our revenue sales by enhancing our social media presence.
Great idea.
Has this ever happened to you?
Make a bold statement. Upgrade your wardrobe at Super Cool Fashions.
Thanks, Super Cool.
Super Cool Fashions located at 6180 Airline Highway.
Director for NBC 33 and Fox 44 here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Mr. Walton, thank you for taking the time to come and share with us today.
I appreciate you guys having me. Looking forward to it.
First question, how do you blend being a news director for two different stations, which from my novice perspective have two different agendas? I know that when it comes to national news, NBC and Fox are very different. That might not be the same with local news, but tell me how you blend those jobs.
Juan, what's up? This is your people, Manny Fresh, and you watching Mad Game Entertainment. You heard me? Don't change that.
Welcome back to a show that is counting down the days Not until Christmas, but until the real holiday, Mardi Gras. Yeah! PoliTicKING, I'm here with State Representative Larry Selders and new Cupid. Okay. So, y'all heard me talking in the earlier segment about entertainment and education. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think we should be mixing the two? Like, do we have to always entertain and educate and vice versa?
I feel like, I think that having a theater department and a music department in a school is sufficient enough for the entertainment side. I feel that I do understand the high impact of music when it comes to, you know, certain subjects, but I do feel like those subjects need to be prioritized.
Yeah.
You can always go off into the music and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But you know, there's just a fine line.
Yeah.
And you know, for my kids in particular, like I don't mix them at all. I think we're gonna need to focus on English. We're gonna focus on, you know, geometry, whatever you're taking, and you know, we don't have to make it rhyme. All the time.
Yeah. We don't have to entertain the kids just to go ahead and get you to learn. Like, that's the thing. I feel like when we do that, that's kind of lowering the bar a little bit, right? Like saying that the only way that we can learn math is that we have to, you know, make it into the catchiest song that we have out. And again, that's something that we never did. Like, I get it, Schoolhouse Rock and all these other things, you know, from the past, but that's different. Like, that wasn't the primary source. I'm seeing too many videos now. It feels like now it's just everybody trying to go viral, trying to, you know, make that happen.
One thing about it that I find is, in the instance of math, right? Memorizing problems isn't technically figuring them out. You know what I mean? Like 3 + 3 is 6. Like, do you understand the logic?
Why 3 + 3
correct
is 6,
versus just making it into a song. As an entertainer, when I sing Cupid Shuffle, I don't even think about it. Like, it just it's
so
a
much
thing.
a part,
So it doesn't make me have to figure out the content of my lyrics by what I say. So the same applies with music and figuring out these certain types of things. Is what is the why? What is the reasoning versus what memorizing it? You know what I mean?
Now, I don't want to go here, but it doesn't take a genius to realize that most of the videos that we see that are going viral, where we see some of these lyrics that are being spewed, the kids all look like us. You never really see any instances where there are students or teachers who are non-black or people of color who are doing this. So is that something that is just us? Like, why don't we see that across the way? I mean, it's almost like saying that we need that in order to learn, and I just don't buy that.
There's also a heavy agenda in the music industry for the music that's actually put into the forefront of our communities. So that's a problem in itself. So to bring that problem into the educational system, I think it just adds on to what we're saying. It's kind of stereotyping, kind of pushing a certain narrative to these, to what we're trying to fix. Because there's artists that's trying to fix the whole music content situation as we speak as well. So again, I just don't think that the two mix well when you're trying to teach the why and the how and figuring things out versus just typical memorization.
And
you know, and I hope it's just a viral moment, right? And I say that because everybody wants to be the cool teacher.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to, you know, so, you know, that may be how they deem, how they get respect from the students, but it shouldn't be teaching like that, you know, and actually they should be more selective of the songs they do decide. Because we learn a lot of stuff by nursery rhymes. And by, you know, it's like he said, muscle memory. You know, some stuff when you taking tests, you standardized tests, it's gonna be a lot of muscle memory, you know, but you do need to know the why. And if, you know, you figure out little small trinkets of things to help you remember, you know, different information, that's what you got to do. You know, but you have to be, I think, selective.
And also too, you know, you talk about wanting to be the cool teacher. Like, what do you remember the cool teacher for when you were younger?
PE.
That's the one that will let you come and stay and skip it. And,
you go hang out, you play basketball. It's the fun stuff. You always remember the fun stuff, right?
Cool teacher.
Yeah, I had Mr. Handy. He was our social studies teacher, actually. But he was just cool. Dude rode a motorcycle to school.
Say less.
He was that dude. He was just cool. But it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing like that, man. And where I went to school in Lafayette was 98% black. It was Northside High School, Eastside High, duplicate.
Yeah.
And it was none of the, and we didn't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So again, I just don't. I mean, and then too, if you're gonna make a song, pick a better one.
That's the thing.
You know,
I don't mind. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind the song. I don't mind singing if that's your thing. I don't mind. Hey, you know what? Hey, that's cool. Sexy Red. Sexy Red need to be in the classroom learning.
Facts. Facts.
Like, and that's no knock. I'm not trying to.
But just like you're talking about memorization, right?
Yeah.
When you hear the beat,
yeah.
I don't care. It kind of reminds me, and this might be kind of crazy. It kind of reminds me when gospel artists take hood songs and make them like. Even though I get it, if I hear, you know, I can't see nothing wrong living for Jesus Christ. Like you what do you do? In your mind, you still doing this, but the message is really a good one, right?
Right.
So just pick a good song.
Well, to be fair, I'll be in church looking down like,
oh.
So I'm right there with, Lord forgive me. Anyway, I'll be trying to lay hands, man. You know, you got anyway. Don't worry. No, don't mind me. Don't go there with me now.
No. A better song selection would be good, though.
That's the thing I think really bothers me is that it's the song selection. We can choose better songs, and then too, you know, another thing I'm noticing too is that most of the viral moments, and I'm not saying everybody, but most of the viral moments seem like they're all women. You don't really see any men who are trying to recreate these cool songs and trying to, you know, relate to the kids. I think that's pretty interesting too.
We don't have a lot of male teachers.
Really?
Yeah, there's not a lot of male teachers. It's a female-dominated profession. So and that's where we're lacking, you know, honestly. And you know, I think more students need to see what it's like to have a male in the classroom.
I honestly, and this is a conspiracy theory, I honestly believe that that's the reason why teachers are paid so low. Is because it is such a female-dominated industry. If it were a male-dominated industry, I believe that they would be paid much higher. Because you got to think about it. They have. And I'm not just saying that so that all the women can like my Instagram. I'm just saying. But that is a conspiracy theory that I have because those are, and if we think about it, at the turn of the century, there were men in the profession.
Oh, yeah.
They were schoolmasters, they were the principals, they were the leaders, but now you start to see so many women in the profession that I believe that's why they are paid so low.
Yeah.
And here's another thing too. Speaking of teachers, when I was younger, my teachers were old and fat. You know, walk with a limp and thick glasses, had chin hair. You know what I'm saying? These teachers now, they young.
Yeah.
They fine. You know, they cool. They dress nice. They wear tights.
They in the paper.
But here's what's crazy about it though. We would think that men would be the ones who would have inappropriate relations with the students, but now we're starting to see an influx of the female teachers who are getting caught up in inappropriate situations. What can we do to help stop that?
Man, I can't. You gotta talk to the politicians.
We gotta talk to the politicians.
I don't know.
You gotta talk to the preacher.
Man, because that's tough. That's a tough one, man. I mean,
like I didn't have
tough.
no, like, first of all,
it's tough.
We didn't even have teachers that we even wanted to talk to like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, and I have a thought. I think I have a cure for it, and that is that you cannot teach high school unless you are of a certain age. But I'm hearing that it's age discrimination. But I just believe that honestly, and here's the thing, even if it is age discrimination, sometimes some barriers or some rules are good.
Yeah.
And I just believe that there has to be something done because there are a huge influx of young students who are now having inappropriate relationships with female teachers, and it's not a knock to them.
It's tough.
So,
man.
And then one crazy thing, we'll talk about that after. Anyway, but we don't want to take up too much of your time. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us.
Thank you, man.
Larry, we definitely thank you for coming. We've been, best of luck to you in the next session. And we want to come down there and hang out with you as well.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Got us?
Oh, yeah. I got you.
We're going to have a field trip, a politicking field trip. You're going to walk us around.
I'm going to walk you through it.
Okay. I want to see the fights in session and all that. Good deal.
If we have to start one,
Hey, I'm with it. Cupid, flex.
Yes.
Hold on, and I put him on the spot off the air, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now, man. We're gonna do some shows together.
We talked about it.
We taled about it.
We put it in the universe, and I
There
think
you
it
go.
kind of we have a legally binding contract as of earlier.
Cupid and comedy coming to a city near you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And what are some other things you're working on?
I have a new single coming out in January with Raheem Devon called Ice Cream.
Nice.
So I'll be looking out for that, and just making people dance and have a good time. That's it.
There we go. You know what? We are going to keep up with these guys. They definitely going to come back here to PoliTicKING. Stay tuned. We have more Top 5 coming next. PoliTicKING.
Loud pack, I can't see right. From the dark side, I can't see right. No left turns, this shit earn like IG. I'm that dude. Slick style, off the top rope. Represent two, I'm Rick Root.
They hate it bad, so we have. Baby girl, you got that. And I don't want to lose it, so let's.
Gooder than my mama red beans. Have my man rocked up with your face on my screen. Let mama steppin' light. I got that thing on me. And I'm steppin' light. She throw that ass on me. Like we sex and ride. I got that bag on me. Got me flexin' light. Doing what she have to do. Ain't no concern. She live by the cold drink water, my yearns. All the baddies come to the flow. Make it twerk to the flow real slow.
I couldn't have asked for a better realtor. Well, I was sitting by the pool at my sister's house with my cousin and my sister. And I said, okay, I think I'm gonna get ready to buy a house. And she said, oh, just make sure you use Mr. Dupart. Never rushed. Always offered, always asked me if I wanted to see it again, or I'd ask him, well, let's look through this area of the house, and he'd take his time and let us go look through the different areas of the houses. But yeah, never rushed. He started work and he told me exactly what would happen when. I don't know how many lines this paper contract had on it, but Mr. Dupart went through every single line. This is my first home, and he went through every single line in detail and answered all the questions I had. So I was just really, really grateful that he took that time. And it didn't matter how late it was. You know, if he said, if I can answer any questions for you, you have my number, call me. So the process was scary in the beginning, but pretty quick he put me at ease, saying, I'm gonna walk you through each stage, each step of the way. I still can't believe how smoothly it went. Absolutely, I would recommend Mr. Dupart for anybody who's thinking about buying a home or ready to buy a home.
Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Griffin, aka Mr. Grip.
I'm Bentley, the hip hop barber pole.
The hip hop barbershop offers the best haircuts.
We service ladies too, Grip.
Ladies, we can do your eyebrows and your cut as well.
We welcome walk-ins, but tell them about the online booking.
That's right. You can book an appointment online as well, or give us a call at 225-252-7773.
We know the flavor, neighbor.
Hi, this is Fred Jeff Smith, pastor of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church.
Shiloh is a traditional church with the timeless message of the gospel of Jesus Christ. But that doesn't mean that we don't have something that will entice and intrigue you. We have a wonderful music ministry. We have wonderful children's ministries. We have a fabulous Christian education ministry. We're reaching out to you, inviting you to come and be a part of the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. We want you to come and check us out. You'll be glad that you did.
I promise you. Best audience in the business. Welcome back to a show that is excited because it's almost crawfish season. It's PoliTicKIng. And if you've been to your nearby Walmart, you may have noticed a few changes as the company is rolling out a $9 billion store renovation project in an effort to update stores and make them, quote, online proof. You will see fancy displays and more electronic displays as well. Now, one thing they haven't spent the $9 billion on, more workers. You still gotta check your own stuff out and bag it too. Which is funny because when I go through self-checkout, I don't steal items like most of y'all. No, I steal bags. Because there's so much you can do with a Walmart bag. Which brings me to tonight's top five uses of Walmart bags. All right. Coming in at number 5, the top 5 uses of Walmart bags. A lunch kit. Nothing says insulation like a Walmart bag that catches all your collard green juice and gumbo juice, and you can just pour it right back in your bowl for lunch. So tasty. Coming in at number 4, top 5 uses of Walmart bags. Flour and chicken. Put your flour in, shake it up. It's nice and crispy, just like the Blue Stove. Coming in at number 3, top 5 uses of Walmart bags. A shower cap. Don't want to get your hair wet? Just throw on a Walmart bag and you're good to go. Coming in at number 2, the top 5 uses of Walmart bags. A suitcase. When you drop your kids off at their grandma, just throw some drawers in a bag and you're good to go. And it ain't just for kids either. I flew Spirit Airlines not too long ago and I saw some folks checking in with Walmart bags. And coming in at number 1, top 5 uses of Walmart bags. Y'all guessed it, trash bags. You know what it is. You know. And that's gonna do it for tonight's show. I would like to thank mental health professional Tarkisha Wallace for stopping through to give us holiday tips to avoid feeling low. Also, special thanks to our panel guests, State Representative Larry Selders and world-renowned musician Cupid. I will be performing in Hammond for New Year's Eve and in New Orleans at the New Orleans Comedy House January 6th. So follow me on social media to find out how you can get your tickets and for more. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out this thing.